This one's been around a long time, so by now it might be something that you know. But for those of you who don't,
Hey, it's Taylor. I'm with Trevor. He does photo and video for Orlando Informer. He's normally behind the camera.
yes.
Today, he's not behind the camera. He's in front of the camera.
I wanted to be in front. This video intrigued me. I wanted to be a part of it, so we'll see. He was gracious enough to allow me to, so I'm very excited.
You may have previously seen the video where I went through Islands of Adventure and I tried to find things Madison didn't know throughout Islands of Adventure. Today I'm doing the same thing with Trevor at Universal Studios. We're going to try to find things you may not have known at Universal Studios. I'm hoping I can get a high score. We'll see. Trevor knows a lot about the parks as well, so it's going to be tricky. The first one is actually right here at Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon, replaced Twister, Ride It Out, based off the Twister movie. And there's still several references in the windows to Twister. So there's a Twister Cola, and there's also Bill Paxton's shirt hanging in the window as well. Do you know both of those?
I knew about the shirt. The Twister Cola, I'm not gonna lie, that got me. So
that's like a half point.
Half point there.
There we go. Put it up on the board.
Bing.
The scoreboard. So the next one you really might not know, but all these pigeons in New York are actually robots. Okay, expert level on the next couple. These are some that I didn't know for a really, really long time coming here. In Sting Alley, we're in Sting Alley in New York. There is two things of note here. Number one, there's a lot of gum on the pavement. And for the longest time, I was just like, oh wow, there's like a lot of like real gum that guests left here. And theme parks don't typically sell gum, but this is actually gum that Universal applied to the ground to make it look dirty in Sting Alley. So I thought that was a cool detail. Did you know that one?
I did not know that.
There we go, got one.
Like, my mind is blown. That's crazy.
1.5 on the board. And then the other thing of note here is that the cobblestone is actually not real cobblestone. It is cement that they use like a cookie cutter to make it look like cobblestone.
I did not know that either. So I feel like I'm doing really bad so far. This is like the worst start to any kind of competition. Oh my god.
Yeah. But it's not a perfect score. I mean, you did already know one, so we'll see.
That's true, and I hope I have a couple coming up that will score me some points as well.
Oh, that's right. You have your own ideas.
Yes, exactly.
This is true.
So we'll see.
We'll see. We've still got a few more in New York. This is a statue of two different people, believe it or not. So the head is Lou Wasserman, a previous chairman of Universal Pictures. You knew who Lou was.
I did, yes.
But the body is actually of Abraham Lincoln. You've probably heard of him as well.
Yes, once or twice.
Behind the statue's back, there is Lou's sunglasses, which was a signature thing that he had always. And then they actually designed the statue so that the head could be removed and they could put anybody's head onto the statue.
Now, I didn't know about the head removal, but Taylor mentioned it to me earlier, and I genuinely was confused. I thought that it meant that guests could remove the head from the statue. I was trying to figure out where that was, and I was saying it's like, maybe it's Universal's Sword in the Stone thing?
Which would be
similar
cool.
To Magic Kingdom? Yeah, that'd be really neat.
It's a free idea.
Wow. But no, it's just a big statue that Universal had.
And I've never seen them actually remove it, but it's removable. Yeah. Let us know in the comments whose head you think should be on the statue.
All right, so I have a couple of things for Taylor that maybe he didn't know in New York. So New York, this entire area, nods to a lot of different films throughout Universal's history. For example, one of the ones, Walgreen Drugs behind us, is actually a nod to a movie called The Sting. It was called Klein Pharmacy, and actually see a certificate or a license to be a pharmacist in one of these windows. Additionally, Louis' Italian Restaurant is a nod to The Godfather, which I'm sure everyone's seen at least once, right, Taylor?
So I knew both of those movie references, but I did not know inside the window it references Klein Pharmacy.
Point for me.
Put it on the scoreboard. In the Fast and Furious queue, there is quite a few Easter eggs. So there is a picture of Frankenstein. I was pausing for you to let me know.
Yeah, no, you got it. You did good.
You want to start over? You want to keep that?
No, keep going.
There is a queue chain with Earthquake, the big one, which is one of the previous rides that was over in this spot. The Frankenstein, by the way, is a reference to Beetlejuice, which was previously here. I probably should have mentioned that. To me, the most interesting one is the card title for Arthur Weasley is also in this queue. So 3 Easter eggs to keep an eye out. Oh, there's also a power breaker box that has initials for previous attractions, and the power's off for those attractions because they're closed.
Now, I did know that there were a ton of references. I knew the breaker box.
Yep.
I knew about the keychain. Didn't know about Arthur Weasley. Didn't know about Frankenstein. So I don't know if that's a half point or 2 full points. I don't know what it is, but we'll just throw some number up here. It could be 1,000.
In the future, we should get like a referee to come in the background and like declare how many points it is.
We really should. They hold our arms up like boxers.
Oh, that'd
Winner.
be cool. That'd be cool.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I wasn't in the budget for this video, but maybe the next video.
Yeah.
We have Road Fast and Furious Supercharged.
Yes.
We need a drink. So we're at Che Alcatraz. I don't drink. And Trevor doesn't drink a lot either.
Yeah.
But we're still at Che Alcatraz. So this is an interesting one. It is modeled after a ticket kiosk to Che Alcatraz, the prison.
I've got to say, I didn't know that one either. You're just putting points on the board, and I feel like I'm over here sleeping. I've got to figure something out. I got to catch up in the second half.
We need like the point sound effect to go like ding, 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 ding.
I got you. Don't worry.
This is another one that I didn't know for a really long time. Lombard's is actually, the story goes, is the home of Louis Lombard, a marine biologist. So rumor has it he has a 2-person submarine that the launching for is under the stairs when you enter. It's supposed to be his marine secret launch.
I didn't know that.
That one almost sounds like I just made it up, but
It really does. He's just making things up now. He's just scoring points on me. Oh my gosh.
It's true. I would never tell a lie. These last few have been more Easter eggs and not, I don't want to say useful, but they've been, you can't utilize the knowledge that we've bestowed. Yeah. Whereas this one, I think is super helpful. So if you're looking for just butterbeer soft serve ice cream, you can actually go to Fountain of Fair Fortune behind us, next to Florian Fortescue's, and usually the wait's a lot lower, and they serve butterbeer ice cream even though it's not on the menu.
And I did know that one.
And he knew that one. But it's still useful, you have to admit.
It is. Oh yeah, 100%. Especially out of all the ones that we've told. The other ones are just more like impress your friends, but this one is very useful.
In Sugar Plums at Diagon Alley, and also in Honeydukes, there is seasonal fudge. So right now I think it's a raspberry fudge. Usually not a huge fan of raspberry or fudge, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna try it, and I think Trevor's excited for it.
Yeah, I like both, so if he doesn't like it, I'll eat the rest.
Okay, here we go. Raspberry clotted cream. We're gonna cheers it, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know about that, yeah. So, very sweet, as most fudge is. It feels like you're eating sugar, but it also has almost a cotton candy taste, in my opinion. Very good as far as fudge goes. I still personally like the butterbeer fudge a little bit more, but as a seasonal fudge, it's good. I like to see what they do every year. They always change it up and bring something different to the table, and that was good. Would I get it again? I'm not sure, just because if I wanted that flavor and I wanted that sugar, personally, I'd probably lean more towards cotton candy.
So I agree with everything Trevor said. To me, I tasted more clotted cream than I did raspberry. Like I tasted hints of raspberry, but not as much raspberry. And overall, I thought it was okay. I do like butterbeer fudge better. And then, like Trevor said, if I'm looking for something sweet, I'm probably gonna go with like a frozen butterbeer or a hot butterbeer over fudge. It was good.
This is one of my favorite references. When I was growing up, I grew up raised on 80s movies, in Springfield, but more specifically on 80s movies. And this used to be Back to the Future, the ride, back in the day. Now it's the Simpsons ride, but they still have some nods to Back to the Future in this queue and on this attraction. And one of my favorites is actually in the queue. When you're watching the pre-show footage, they have Doc Brown, they have the DeLorean, and one of the scientists actually tries to go back in time to save the Institute of Future Technology, but instead he winds up killing the guy who was going to save the Institute of Future Technology. So you'll have to see it. I think it makes a lot more sense when you see it rather than me explaining it, but it's a can't miss and one of my favorite nods to one of the original attractions here at Universal Studios Florida.
I didn't know about that, but it is really cool.
Yeah. Continuing on with the Back to the Future theme, you can tell I picked these because 2 for 2 with these. So the train behind me here is the Jules Verne train that was actually used in the Back to the Future 3 movie. At the end, when Doc returns from the past and visits Marty in the future near the train tracks, he has his kids, he has his wife, and this is the prop or vehicle they actually used. Additionally, there is a DeLorean right next to this train in the park. Really neat to see, especially at night. You can actually peek in the window and they have all the lights on, which is really cool.
And the train used to be towards the front of the park.
Now you know.
How do you think they can move a train? Do you think they had to use a crane?
They probably just picked it up with their hands.
Oh, they got like 10 of their strongest team members and then just carried it through the park. This one might be a little more well-known, but the prop shop, it's called Williams of Hollywood, but it's the prop shop. Formerly a magic shop, by the way. That's like inside feature to the inside feature. But
I didn't know that.
really?
No, I didn't know it was a magic shop.
Does that
before. I
count?
don't
That
remember.
wasn't
Yeah,
our.
We'll throw a point on the screen.
Okay,
anyways.
cool. So it's where they sell used props throughout the theme park, which is pretty cool. It's recently been open every day except today. And the day of filming, they closed the doors on us. But this week they rolled out some Shrek stuff. So they have like a big shield from Shrek, which is $600 right now. I've purchased a Twister cow. One of the first major things they sold to the prop shop was the cow in the Twister queue. It now lives in my kitchen.
I didn't know about that, as Taylor stated. Pretty obvious, but still cool. If you've never been in, just go check it out. They have some really neat things sometimes. Right now, they also have a bunch of scarecrow stalk things
Yep.
from the previous Halloween Horror Nights.
And $5 Shrek. Oh, in just 5 minutes. They also have $5 Shrek glasses if you weren't there. The final show of Shrek, though, they did let me keep them for free, so that was a $5 value. This one was actually not on the list. We like try to prepare with a list so we don't forget anything. And then we were walking by and I was like, oh, should I mention this one? So behind us is the Radio Broadcast Center. And it's really easy to walk by and just think it's another facade. But this is actually, you can go inside this one and they have two professional recording rooms. So if like it sounds, you could broadcast a radio show, but they also do a lot of podcast interviews in there. So public relations will invite different podcasts in, and you can interview different members of creative or whatever's going on around the resort. So cool little detail, and Trevor knew this one.
Yeah, I didn't know this one.
Behind us is actually how they feed the minions. So there's a lot of minions at Universal, which would cost a lot if they were buying bananas store-bought. So they actually grow their own bananas at Universal. You can see them right behind us in these trees. They planted banana trees, and overnight they come and pick the bananas and feed the bananas, kind of like a midnight snack to the minions.
I did know that, but only because of Taylor and Orlando Informer.
Oh, what a plug.
This one's been around a long time, so by now it might be something that you know. But for those of you who don't, there's a hidden song track on Rip Ride Rockit. It's kind of hard to access and it's hard to execute, I think. Maybe not for Taylor or somebody who's been there a lot. You just have to know what you're doing ahead of time. So you need to go on Orlando Informer, find the hidden song list, remember your song number. When you get on the attraction, you have to hold down on the top of the screen the Rip Ride Rockit logo, about 10 seconds, and then you have, I would say maybe 5 seconds, 5 to 7 seconds, to enter in the number.
3 digits.
Yes, 3 digits, hit enter, and then you won't be able to get your recording on the ride, but you'll get to choose a song that a lot of people might not get to listen to. So I think that's one of the coolest features that a lot of people don't know about on this attraction.
And bonus fun fact, most of the maneuvers on the attraction are named after like musical things. Like there's the treble clef and like all kinds of other different features, so that's cool. If you enjoyed this video, I did the same exact thing over at Islands of Adventure. I think it's 9 things that you didn't know you could do at Islands of Adventure. We'll leave a link to it. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.